I like doing dishes. I bet there's nobody else who will ever say they like doing dishes, but I do. Okay, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was in a rut. I'm not talking about this rut. I'm talking about R-U-T. You can look that up if you don't know what that means. No motivation, no direction, no nothing. I was just chilling, scrolling around on Instagram and wishing I had somebody else's life. Sounds familiar to you? But it hit me one day when I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is all I'm gonna be. And that's when it clicked for me. It was like a turning point for me, I realized nobody's coming to save me. And for you, nobody's coming to save you either. It's harsh, but that's the reality of life. The life you want, you've got to create it, man. And today I'm gonna share with you step by step what I did to put my life together. I don't have things figured out yet. I'm not a millionaire, neither am I a guru. I'm just somebody who is also trying to figure things out, but at least I've stabilized my life at the moment. And I hope that with this video, I can be able to inspire you. You've got to get your mind right. I'm talking ditching the victim mentality and taking full ownership of your entire life. I've got this quick exercise that you can try out. Take a pen and paper, then write everything that you're unhappy about. It might be your grades if you're still in school. It might be your body or your fitness. It might be your money. It might be your social life. Write down everything. Then think to yourself, what can I do or what am I gonna do to change all this? Because the moment you change from why is this happening to me to what am I gonna do to change this or what can I do to change this, that's where everything changes. Trust me, your mindset is your superpower. Now I'm sounding like a guru. But you've got to own that thing. This brain belongs to you. You've got to own it. You've got to control it. You've got to train it. You just have to know that whatever you feed it is whatever it's gonna give you back. So you've got to train it so that it can lead you to the right path each and every time. Step 2 is all about habits. Success isn't about big dramatic changes. It's about consistent action. You want to get fit? Just start with doing 10 push-ups a day, slowly by slowly, and then you start gaining momentum. You want to start saving money? You can't just wake up one day and say you want to start saving money and then you make that dramatic change to your lifestyle. You start slowly. Skip that Starbucks coffee once a week, slowly by slowly, that $5 that you're going to save there. And then slowly you can try cutting costs slowly by slowly. But making a dramatic change is what makes you backslide. It's what makes you relapse to your old habits. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. And I know it sounds super basic. But let me hit you with this. Come closer. Your habits shape your future. If you're not intentional about your routines, you're sabotaging yourself. One of my favorite hacks is habit stacking. Yeah, maybe you don't know what that is. Let me give you an example. If you want to start reading more books, Now, maybe this is a new habit that you want to develop. It's gonna be hard to start. Starting a book is hard. Reading it through is even harder. But habit stacking is where you combine that with something that you already like doing. For example, let's say you like taking coffee in the morning, right? When you wake up. Now, how about you combine reading a book with taking coffee? You understand? You take your coffee while reading a book. Slowly by slowly, once you do that consistently, you're going to program your mind to start relating coffee with a book. Coffee with reading a book. And every time when you want to take coffee, your mind will be like, where's the book? And now you'll start combining the two and you'll find yourself enjoying doing it more. This is something that has really changed my life for real. And as much as that sounds cliche, it's true. Like, I really hated doing housework. Are they called house chores? House chores? I don't know. I'm not a native English speaker, but you understand what I mean. I hated doing dishes, I hated cleaning the house, I hated everything. And a lot of times my apartment was just chaotic. But I learned to combine doing these activities with something that I liked doing. For example, I like listening to podcasts, right? Now, I didn't have much time to listen to podcasts. What did I do? I tried to create time for podcasts. And now I started combining listening to podcasts and cleaning the house, doing dishes while listening to a podcast, mopping the floor while listening to podcasts, doing laundry while listening to podcasts. So whenever my favorite podcasts put out a new episode, I always wanted to listen to it. And now I'm just at a point where I unconsciously do it. Like, I know whenever I want to listen to a podcast, I've got to look for something to do around the house. I've got to do dishes, I've got to look if the dishes are clean, I've got to look if even my bathroom is clean, I've got to look around the house and make sure the house looks clean. And that's how I managed to put my apartment in order. And now I solved the chaos in my life, which was making me look unorderly. It was making my place look terrible. But at the same time, I get to enjoy my podcasts. You see, like, that is habit stacking. Same thing about listening to albums. I like listening to albums. And whenever I want to listen to an album, I combine that with another activity. It might be going for a run. I go running while listening to an album. I try working out while listening to an album. And that is very important for me because every time an artist put out an album, I just feel so motivated because I'm like, I'm gonna listen to this album and I'm gonna work out and I'm gonna have a great time. And that's how my mind is every time. There's a new playlist that I've discovered. I don't have much time to listen to it, but I know if I want to listen to this, I've got to work out. So you see, I get to enjoy something which is listening to a new playlist or a new album, but it also gets to benefit me in such a way that I've got to work out. This discovery really changed my life completely because I've been able to achieve a lot of stuff, but at the same time, I wasn't sacrificing what I like doing. I wasn't sacrificing listening to podcasts saying it's wasting my time because I found time for it. I wasn't just seated somewhere and listening to it. I was doing something while listening to it. And it made me enjoy doing the houseworks, for example. I like doing dishes. I bet there's nobody else who will ever say they like doing dishes, but I do. Because that's my opportunity to listen to my favorite podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Now here's a bitter pill to swallow. You're the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. And I know that statement is very cliche, but it's very true. Like, look, if most of the people that you spend your time with are constantly dragging you or draining your energy, it might be time to draw some boundaries. I know it's hard, but protecting your energy is key. You know, you want to grow, you want to elevate, you've got to make sacrifices. And I know you might be thinking, maybe you don't have any positive people in your life, then it might be time for you to go out there and look for these positive people. Look for communities with which you can interact either in person or online and try to develop yourself. You've got to surround yourself with people that challenge how you think, people that give you a different perspective of life, people that show you new things, people that teach you something, people that bring value to your life in one way or another. You've got to be able to train your mind to help it develop because your mind controls you. And you've got to make sure that your mind controls you and leads you to the right path. And if you put your mind through different challenges that affect it positively, it will help you be able to come up with good mechanisms that can help you cope with certain situations. It can help you come up with new ideas. It can help you tap into new dimensions that you never knew you will be able to tap into. You understand what I'm saying? So you've got to do all this stuff. And if the people around you are not giving you the opportunity or the chance to do this, then it might just be time for you to move on, because after all, we grow and we change and we outgrow things and we outgrow habits and we start new ones, and it's a pattern of life. You can't just be constant. You can't just be stagnant. You can't just be in your bubble. You've got to go out there. You've got to get people to help you be able to develop new things, new ideas. And this can only be done if you expand your network and you try to find people that help you grow and not people that are constantly dragging you down. You feel me? Now here's the final step. Action beats everything. You can have the perfect mindset, great habits, and incredible people around you. But if you don't take action, nothing changes. Start before you're ready. Take that class, apply for that job, post that video, talk to that girl. Go and talk to that girl right now. Go and ask her out. I get it, fear is real, but let me tell you something. Come closer, come closer. Comfort zones are where dreams die. So every time you step out of your comfort zone, you grow. And that's what life is all about. If you don't approach that girl, somebody else is gonna do it. If you don't ask her out, somebody else is gonna do it. So you better take action and do it right now when you can. What's the worst that's gonna happen? She's gonna reject you. Fine, that's part of life. God promised us a great destination, but He never promised us a smooth path. You've got to know that. But growth happens out of your comfort zone. So when you put yourself in such a situation where you get rejected, with time, like if you do that consistently, you get rejection after rejection after rejection. With time, you won't feel anything if somebody rejects you. It will just be normal. And that's part of life. You understand what I'm saying? If you apply for a job and they reject you, apply for the next job. If they reject you, apply for the next one. Because, yeah, you can sit down there and start lamenting and be like, well, nobody wants to give me a job, but nobody will give you a job anyway if you don't apply. So you've got to keep applying. You've got to do it. With time, like, you'll just be used to those rejections. And eventually, somebody might take a chance with you and give you a job. So you've got to do it consistently. Be it leaving your own people, be it leaving your own family. I left my own family in Kenya and moved to Germany alone. I didn't know anybody, I didn't know the language, I didn't know anything. But I moved here, a huge change. And this is where I got to discover a lot of stuff about me. I got to discover so much about myself. I got to grow a lot. I had my fair share of ups and downs. And talking about applying for jobs, I sent 79 applications just trying to apply for a job, only for one person to take a chance with me. So if I would have given up with 78 applications, the 79th is the one that got me a job. The more you send those applications, the more you learn how to improve your application. Maybe your application is just terrible. Life is not fair, and it will never be. It doesn't matter. For me, I might be successful in my first attempt, but for you, it might be you need 20, 25, 100 attempts for you to be able to succeed in whatever that you want to achieve. So you can't just sit there and be like, no, it took this person one attempt, it should also take me one attempt. That's not how life is. Life is unfair. You've got to deal with it.